obviously Rutgers has two of the most dynamic scorers in the country. Just faced a team with a pretty high-scoring duo. Different look, though, but can you apply anything from Martinelli and Barnheiser to the way you can maybe defend Rutgers a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Like in some of the setups, the extended post, and some of the ISOs and things of that nature. A little different. Dylan Harper is a very good passer, too. He's one of those guys that can go both ways. He's obviously left-handed, but he can go either way. Ace Bailey's just kind of a Kevin Durant, Glenn Robinson type player, like, can make tough shots, makes quick pull-ups, can catch and shoot, can drive and hit floaters. So, but both of them are fantastic players. Had them both in USA basketball. Got great futures. But for us, I think it's what to live with more than anything. Like, don't put them to the free throw line. Make them hit tough shots, which they can. But make them consistently hit tough shots. When they're getting to the free throw line, they're getting layups, they're setting other people up, and they're just getting the smorgasbord of everything. That's when you're in trouble. Like, you're in big trouble. And so for us, I think just making them work for everything. And it's no secret, like what I'm saying. Like, everybody tries to do the same thing. Some have been more successful than others, but just got to keep working. And you can't let other guys. You give them so much attention where you give everybody else so much room to be able to navigate and play one-on-one and attack us. So we're going to have good team defense and good awareness.
What do you like about what your defense has done here the last 2 or 3 games?
Yeah, we've been better. I think it helps us when we load up and we give extra help in there. And there's some risk involved there. Sometimes when you overhelp guys, can be open to make some shots. And you're trying to do the best of both worlds. And I think our guys have. I think our guys have done a better job of keeping the ball out of the paint. That's hard to do sometimes when you're in drop coverage, which we are at times, because you're kind of encouraging them to get into the paint, but you're trying to keep them out of the paint also, right? So it's a little bit of a contradiction, but you're trying to get people into intermediate shots. You're trying to get them into tough twos, floaters, runners, things of that nature. Keep them off the free throw line, keep them away from the rim, and then obviously break their rhythm so they don't shoot threes that are fluid. So I just think we've been more detail-oriented, and we've done a little bit better job. I think that's the key. Sometimes we do a good job, then we don't reward ourselves, and then they get a putback.
Much of that is you play this challenging schedule. I think you faced 6 of the top 60 scorers in the country or something at this point. With Johnny Broome, Cam Jones, some of these guys. Just growing through some of those growing pains against top-level players.
I think it gives you a reference point. Like when you face a great defensive guard, like you can reference Ace Baldwin. Like when you face, a great all-around like scorer, shooter, you can go to Cam Jones, like who, even though he's playing the point, like he's just a great, scorer. When you get against a great big, give Johnny Broome. When you get against a team that just kills you on the glass, it has dynamic guards, you can go to Texas A&M. Like you can just kind of keep going, and you have that reference point where your team understands, like, hey, if you allow this to happen, I don't have real, good insight for you. Like, don't let this happen. Like, don't let them get in this position to score. Don't let the ball get to this certain point, or it's going to be really tough with great players. But that's what your hope is. Your hope is that schedule gives you that edge, and that gives you that advantage and makes you a better team, so now you can win games in January, February, and March.
The turnovers. The offensive end, just how you guys have taken care of the ball here recently. That you've been through some of those experiences to deal with that kind of pressure.
Yeah, but we all know that can rear its ugly head. Like, I think that's something that's been constant in 20 years that I've been here. Like, when you have teams that do a good job of taking care of the basketball, like every 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th game, whatever it is, it pops up. So that's something for us, like even when we take care of it, like we're still like really working towards, giving ourselves a chance, taking care of the basketball, and don't think like, hey, I have this taken care of, because you never have it taken care of.
What's been behind the uptick in turnovers defensive turnovers against teams that take care of the ball? Braden Miles, I think, are leading you guys in steals the last few games.
Yeah.
But anything else?
Yeah, well, you don't sometimes know if it's you or it's them, right? You go back and watch, and it's the perspective. Like somebody turns the ball over, I think our guy's careless, and the opposing coach thinks it's great defense, right? So it's little perspective. We were able to turn over Texas A&M in that game. We forced a lot of turnovers. We just didn't play very well offensively in the game where we would have won. And just trying to have better hand activity, trying to be with guys. Like you can't you can't allow people to have angles. You can't get behind plays so easily. I think we've done a better job with that, like staying ahead of it and now getting guys into tougher shots or just being able to force some turnovers.
There's a different look about Rutgers where Coach Peichel always harped on kind of doing everything right, and now you've got these kind of superstar freshmen as well
Right.
that enter the mix a little bit.
Well, I think it's just, it's role definition. Like, it's hard. Like, when you get guys that, that are that talented and that good, and then other people have played in like a role before, that's what, becoming a good team's all about, is everybody, understanding their roles. But, what Coach Peichel's been able to do through the years, like, everybody's a rebounder. Everybody's a defender. Like, he takes that Jim Calhoun approach, who he used to work for. They're tough, they're physical, they get after it. Like, those are the constants in his program. And so, like, that's something that we're really trying to sell to our guys. And, like, we know what they're harping on. And they struggled. Like, they struggled in their last game. So we know they're going to have some really good practices. Dylan Harper's, now got a game under his belt after being sick. So he's going to be in a better position. So we know we're going to get their best shot.
Did a switch flip in that second half against Minnesota to maybe now where you feel more comfortable with your team in a Big Ten road game?
Yeah. I don't know if a switch flipped. Obviously, it's good, I think, for your morale when you see the ball go in and you close out a game the way we did. And we got some good shots in that first half. They just didn't go down. We were better defensively in the second half. We were a lot better offensively. But I think anytime you can do that, that gives you confidence. You've been in that situation. You've been in a closer game. Now you push the game out and win by 20 right there, and that can only help you.
Just the confidence that CJ's just kind of building up over these last few games to get out back on the road.
Right.
See how that transpires.
Yeah, he's done a good job. And the guys that didn't start that are now coming up the bench, they've done a good job too. So it's great to see because we're getting a lot of contributions, from our bench and contributions from the guys that are now starting. Caleb's been great. CJ's been great. But yeah, he just has to keep it simple. When it's in between a pass or a shot, we prefer him to shoot. Like we can't. Yeah, just keep it simple. Like I think he's a scorer. He's a guy that can shoot off the dribble. I think sometimes he's trying to do too much what we ask him to do, and can't rebound your turnover. So like you can rebound a miss, and so for him, he's a shooter. He's a guy that can make pull-ups. So just want him to be aggressive. But he's done a good job defensively. He's given a good effort. Miles has came off the bench, given us a good effort. Jakari's given us a good effort there. So Cam. So like it's good to see those guys, and Caleb's been really good. All right, thanks.